By the year 2050, Africa's population is expected to rise by 50%. More and more people will be moving into towns and cities to live. Food production will have to increase by 70% to meet this growing demand. Making sure that food is safe and readily available will be a constant challenge. Today, around 925 million people are not getting enough safe and nutritious food. And this is now the #1 health risk worldwide. Lack of nutrition means children's mental and physical development is affected for life. Their growth is stunted. The impact of stunting can last for at least 3 generations within a family. Considerable efforts are being made for improved access to nutrition through emergency food provision to the most vulnerable, reducing waste, and increasing the quantity of food farmers can produce. Whilst there is well-established concern for the impact of contaminated water on people's lives, there is far too little focus on the impact of food safety on public health. People are often unaware that they're consuming dangerous food, but even if they are aware, they may have so little food that they have no alternative but to eat what is available, which can result in severe illness and childhood stunting. Twin, the charity which works with smallholder farmers in developing countries, believes that the fight against unsafe food needs to be a priority for all consumers. A great deal of work has been done to produce safe crops which pass strict EU quality standards to protect people in the European Union. A similar focus is needed to make sure that there is safe food for all, not just for export markets. One important food contaminant is aflatoxin. As the name suggests, this is a toxin which affects 1/4 of the world's crops, including key staple foods such as maize, rice, groundnuts, and cassava. The full extent of this immense global public health risk is only now starting to be understood. The fungus that produces the toxin, Aspergillus flavus, occurs in regions between 40 degrees north and 40 degrees south of the equator, potentially causing harm to 4.5 billion people.
Basically, aflatoxin comes out of a fungus that exists in the soil, Aspergillus flavus. When certain conditions prevail in the soil, like moisture stress, it multiplies and therefore it grows on the grain and produces a toxin, which is carcinogenic. Therefore, we do not want any of the products that our farmers are producing to have aflatoxin.
Side effects that can come about from eating aflatoxin contaminated food is what we call more chronic toxicities. If children are exposed to it when they are really young, then they become stunted. They are basically underweight, and other side effects are things like you become more prone to infection. So basically it compromises your immunity, and that's why some people have linked it to the prevalence of HIV and AIDS. It's because of immunosuppression. It suppresses your immunity. And obviously cancer, liver cancer.
There are many additional problems associated with ingesting aflatoxin, including interference with protein production, a reduction in the body's ability to take in vitamins A and D, and anemia. Aflatoxin is also present in breast milk and maize porridge, which is used during weaning. Those individuals infected with hepatitis B and C have a 30 times greater risk of developing liver cancer if they're also exposed to aflatoxin.
One of the concerns that we have is that, yes, we are exporting to Europe and other parts of the world material that has been tested and is aflatoxin free, but most of the time the local market does not demand testing for aflatoxin. So our suspicion and our fear is that we are feeding our own populations with material that is infected, and that's something that we need to address very, very quickly.
When households consume any foods that they produce or they buy, it is important that the food is it's not only available, but it is available in a safe and in a way that's going to provide good nutrition to them. So Malawi as a country has been focusing on nutrition, but specifically food safety is an upcoming issue that the government is keen to look at.
Twin is proposing an approach that tackles the aflatoxin problem in food consumed locally to improve the food safety and health of whole communities. In order to achieve this, Twin has devised an approach which covers food production from planting to processing and transportation. Critical control points for aflatoxin management are identified with the specific challenges at each point dealt with using appropriate interventions. These include drying, sorting and storage of crops so mould cannot develop. Twin is working with peanut farmers in Malawi to work towards this goal. Similar approaches that cover the entire food system must be adopted to ensure that safe food is available for all. Twin believes that to achieve a healthy, prosperous and sustainable future for everyone, we need investments that focus on food safety while also reducing waste and increasing production and availability of nutritious food. If we're determined to break the cycle of hunger and poverty so that countries can feed themselves and communities can thrive, then investment in food safety for all consumers is needed.